let's mix some of the rules. What do I mean by that? Okay, so we're going to have problems that involve the product rule with the quotient rule, or the product rule with the chain rule, or the quotient with the chain, or two chains, or a product and a product. It's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's just jump in, see what we need to address, and as we do, we're going to find that there are other rules that will pop up in the process. So usually there's the biggest thing happening, and then there are other smaller things that we work through as we go. So if I'm taking the derivative of x to the sixth sine of 5x, then I look at this and I say, well, this is really x to the sixth times sine of 5x. So I'm just filling product rule. Let's just go ahead and start with that. So the biggest thing happening is that this marker was very noisy right in the microphone. The biggest thing happening is a product rule. And so I'm going to identify f, which would be x to the sixth, g, which would be sine of 5x, and we'll just go from there. So the derivative of x to the sixth is 6x to the fifth, and g prime is, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is not just sine of x, this is sine of 5x, so this is the chain rule. So I need to use, well, the chain rule. So let's figure it out. So, chain rule. So now I've got a chain inside a product, and so I am going to figure out the biggest thing happening here, which of course is sine. I've switched colors here. Now a lot of this can happen in your head. Over time, you get the hang of the chain rule, and you're like, I don't need to write all that down. I can do f prime g and f g prime, and like I can do, you know, all that stuff in my head. That was product I just said, not chain. But the biggest thing happening is sine of something, and then the thing I'm sining is 5x. So g prime is 5, and f prime is cosine of u. And so instead of writing the formula again, I'm just going to jump straight to the answer for the chain rule. So 5x is going to go here, and then we'll multiply by 5. So it's going to be cosine of 5x times 5. Now, not multiply this by 5, but it's just 5. The whole thing is multiplied by 5. Okay, we have just done the chain rule in the process of doing the product rule, but we haven't finished the product rule yet. So let's finish that, which is f prime g plus f g prime. I'm looking in the wrong place as I say all this. Here we go. Final answer for the biggest thing, which is h. So the derivative is f prime g, whoops, that would be sine, not cosine. Struggling right now, aren't I? Okay, real talk, kind of hungry actually. It might turn into hanger by the end of this video, and I'm just going to start like grabbing notes and markers and just eating them. So f prime g plus f g prime. And in order for me to not have to write an extra step and prolong my snack, I would go ahead and put x to the sixth times 5, but the 5 comes first. We all know that. So 5x to the sixth, then cosine 5x. There we go. So there is our derivative. Let's go to the next problem. And the next problem is going to be x plus 1 over x minus 1 all squared. Let me erase all this. X plus 1 over x minus 1 all squared. This is kind of a fun one because there's a few little tricks to it. X plus 1 over x minus 1, and the whole thing is squared. So you look at that and you say, well, what's the biggest thing happening? Well, you could say, well, I'm definitely going to do the quotient rule, and I agree, quotient rule, like all day. But actually start with the chain. The biggest thing happening is that somebody got squared. So let's stick with the marker that works. The biggest thing happening is that somebody got squared, and we are dealing with the chain rule first. The quotient rule will happen in the process, but chain first. So the biggest thing happening, somebody got squared. There we go. Who got squared? X plus 1 over x minus 1 got squared. And now we switch colors just for fun. This is going to involve the quotient rule. So quotient. Now at this point, I am not going to write all my f's and my g's. Okay, I just don't feel like it. F prime g minus f g prime. We'll go ahead and figure it out. All divided by g squared. So f prime is 1. G minus f g prime, which is 1, all divided by g squared. Okay, don't cancel anything yet. Don't be like, oh, this cancels with that, and then no, don't play that game. Just don't. Let's simplify this a little bit more. X minus x is gone. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 over x plus 1 squared. There we go. we have just done the quotient rule without writing all the f's and g's. You get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick. So again, f prime g minus fg prime, all divided by g squared. I just noticed a mistake I made. This and this should be minus. Hopefully you caught that before I did. There we go, because that would be the bottom part. And so now we're going to use the chain rule. Don't lose track of the biggest thing happening. The chain rule is where I have f prime of g, so this is going to go in right there, and then we multiply by g prime. So 2 x plus 1 over x minus 1 times this stuff. We're going to have some simplifying to do on this one. This is one reason I like this problem. Negative 2 over x minus 1 squared. Okay, there's a lot of simplifying that can take place. Let's deal with numerators than denominators, and let's be real honest with ourselves. This is a numerator. This is really 2 over 1. Okay, so we have 2 times x plus 1 times negative 2. Okay, just the coefficients, or the constants, I guess you could say. 2, negative 2, it's going to give me negative 4, and then x plus 1. Okay, denominators. X minus 1 times x minus 1 squared. Oh, sounds like we have 3 of them. So x minus 1 to the 3rd power. So h prime is that right there.